All right, let's dive into something we all interact with every single day, but probably don't think about much: supply chain management. Yeah, I know, it sounds a bit dry, but stick with me. This is the incredible, invisible network that gets a product from a factory floor, literally across oceans, and right into your hands. So, let's pull back the curtain.
I mean, seriously, have you ever really stopped to think about how that coffee in your cup or the phone you're probably holding right now actually got to you? It's not magic, right? That phone started out as a bunch of minerals buried deep in the earth. It then traveled across continents, was touched and assembled by countless hands. And that whole incredible, globe-spanning journey, that is its supply chain.
So, to put a label on it, that whole process is called supply chain management, or SCM for short. And really, it's the art and science of managing every single one of those steps. We're talking everything from digging up the raw materials to the actual manufacturing, all the way to this complex dance of logistics to get the finished product to you, the end user. It's like being the conductor of a massive global orchestra.
Okay, so the best way to really get our heads around this is to follow a product on its secret journey. Let's break down this huge, complex path into a nice, simple flow from start to finish.
All right, here's the basic map of that journey. It kicks off with raw materials. Those go to a supplier. The supplier then ships them to the factory, and we'll call that factory the focal company, because that's usually the business whose name is on the box, you know? From there, the finished product goes to a warehouse, then a retailer, and bam, finally, to you.
Now, that first part of the trip, just getting all the bits and pieces to the factory, that actually has its own name. It's called inbound logistics. And it's exactly what it sounds like. All the operations involved in getting materials into the company so they can start making stuff. It's a super crucial first step.
So, the materials have arrived. We're at the factory. This is where the magic happens, the creation phase. This is where a product is actually born, and it all begins with one really important question. Where do we get our parts from?
You see, picking a supplier is a massive deal, and it's about so much more than just finding the cheapest price. Companies are running through a whole checklist. Can they hit our quality standards? Do they have the technical chops to make these really complex components? Are they even financially stable? Heck, even how close they are matters. A cheaper part from the other side of the planet might actually cost you more in the long run if it causes a bunch of delays.
Okay, so we've got our suppliers. Now, how do we actually make the stuff? Well, there are two big philosophies here. Think of it as making for the shelf versus making to order. First, you have the push system. This is where a company makes products based on a forecast. They're pushing products out there because they think you're going to buy them. Think of something like toothpaste. Then you have the pull system, like just in time. This is the total opposite. They only make something when an order comes in. The customer's demand pulls the product through the system. A custom-built computer is a perfect example. And the trade-off is pretty obvious, right? Push systems are great for handling sudden demand, but you risk getting stuck with stuff you can't sell. Pull systems are super efficient and cut down on waste, but they can be a bit fragile if something unexpected goes wrong.
All right, the product is built. It's boxed up. Now what? Well, now we have to get it from the factory out into the world. And this is where logistics comes in, the physical art of storing and moving all these goods through the network.
And when you're talking about moving things, you're always playing this game of trade-offs. It's a constant juggling act between cost, speed, and how much you can carry. It's kind of like that old saying, fast, cheap, or good, pick two. You want it there tomorrow? No problem, fly it, but it's going to cost you, and you can't send a lot. Got something huge and you're not in a hurry? Put it on a boat. It's cheap, but man, you're going to be waiting. There's just no one-size-fits-all answer. It totally depends on what you're shipping.
Let's actually put some real numbers to this, because this is wild. Take a guess. What do you think is the average value of just 1 kilogram of stuff imported by air? It's a whopping $253. That's why you only fly the really high-value, time-sensitive stuff. You know, the latest smartphones or critical medicines.
Okay, now for the flip side. What about that same exact kilogram if you put it on a boat? Get ready for this. It's 68 cents. Less than $1. That enormous gap right there tells you everything you need to know. It's why things like grain or oil travel by sea, and your new phone travels by air. So all these decisions, which supplier to use, where to build the factory, what truck or ship to put it on, it all proves that supply chain management is so much more than just moving boxes around. It's really a giant strategic puzzle, a constant balancing act.
Let's talk costs for a second. You've got your fixed costs. These are the bills you have to pay no matter what. The easiest example is warehouse rent. It doesn't matter if you store one little box in there or if it's packed to the ceiling. That rent check is the same every month.
And then you've got the opposite, variable costs. These go up and down depending on how busy you are. The more trucks you have on the road, the more you're going to spend on fuel. The more stuff you ship, the more you pay for shipping. It's a direct cause and effect.
But in today's world, the biggest revolution isn't just about moving the physical thing, it's about moving the information about the thing. Frederick Smith, the guy who founded FedEx, absolutely nailed it when he said this. The information about the package is as important as the package itself. Just think about that. Knowing where your stuff is and when it's going to show up is just as critical as the stuff itself.
And that idea perfectly leads us into the future. Because right now, supply chains are going through this massive change. It's all being driven by technology in a totally new set of goals. We're talking about making them smarter, faster, and a whole lot greener.
Leading the charge is AI and machine learning, and it's a total game changer in a few key ways. First, forecasting. It can predict what people are going to want to buy with scary accuracy. Second, planning. It can figure out the absolute best routes and production schedules on the fly. And third, maintenance. It can actually predict when a machine is about to break down so you can fix it before it causes a huge, costly delay.
Next up, there's blockchain. Now think about it. When you have hundreds of different companies all working together, trust is a big issue. Blockchain kinda solves that. You can think of it like a shared digital ledger or a receipt book that cannot be changed or erased. Every single step from where the raw materials came from all the way to the final payment gets logged for everyone to see. It brings a whole new level of security and transparency to the game.
And maybe the biggest change of all is that the finish line itself is moving. For decades, it was all about one thing, profit. But now, that's not enough. Sustainability has become a core goal. So modern supply chains are trying to balance what they call the triple bottom line. You have to consider profit, sure, but also planet, your environmental impact, and people, which is all about social responsibility. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you unbox something, anything, just take a second. Think about that incredible, invisible journey it went on to get to you. What part of that secret journey will pop into your head? Will it be the tough decisions about which supplier to use? The whole push versus pull system that brought it into existence? The crazy trade-offs and how it was shipped? Or maybe the amazing technology that tracked its every single move?